The fork, an everyday tool we take for granted, yet its journey to acceptance was anything but smooth. Once considered scandalous, effeminate, and even sinful, the fork was shunned and outright banned in several regions before becoming a dining staple. But why was such a simple utensil met with outrage? The answer lies in a mix of religious beliefs, cultural traditions, and deep-seated societal norms. Let's dive into the fascinating and scandalous history of the fork. While today the fork is an everyday dining utensil, its early history reveals that it was once a status symbol, reserved for the elite. The origins of the fork stretch back to some of the most advanced ancient civilizations, where it served primarily as a tool for cooking, serving, and ritualistic purposes rather than individual consumption. The earliest known examples of fork-like utensils date back to ancient Egypt and China. In these cultures, forks were typically used for food preparation, such as handling meat during cooking or serving dishes at grand feasts. Egyptian tombs have been discovered containing two-pronged metal forks, likely used for religious offerings or ceremonial meals. The Greeks and Romans began using two-pronged forks, particularly among the aristocracy, to handle and serve food with greater precision. Forks were valuable instruments at banquets, ensuring that hosts could elegantly present meats and delicacies without direct hand contact. However, for individual dining, people primarily used their hands, knives, and spoons. The controversial reputation of the fork can be traced back to the Byzantine Empire in the 11th century. Aristocrats and royalty used ornate gold or silver forks with 2 or 3 times, primarily for eating delicacies like sweetmeats and fruits. But when a Byzantine princess introduced the fork to Italy, all hell broke loose. As in 1004 Common Era, Theodora Ducana married Domenico Salvo, the son of the Venetian Doge. As part of her lavish dowry, Theodora brought a collection of golden forks. At banquets, she astounded her new Venetian hosts by using the fork to daintily spear her food rather than eating with her hands as was customary. The Italian clergy was scandalized, branding the fork an instrument of the devil. One of the most vocal critics of the fork was Saint Peter Damian, a prominent Catholic theologian and cardinal. Outraged by Theodora's use of the utensil, he issued a fiery condemnation, branding the fork an instrument of the devil in a sign of sinful excess. Tragically, Theodora died young, possibly from the plague or another illness. To many, her early demise was seen as divine retribution for her luxurious and unnatural habits. For centuries, forks remained rare in Italy and much of Europe, viewed as effeminate, decadent, and even ungodly. Despite the resistance, forks eventually gained favor, thanks to fashion, hygiene, and practicality. Key moments of fork acceptance. 16th century, Catherine de Medici's influence. When Catherine married the French King Henry II, she brought her love of forks to the French court. Over time, forks became fashionable among French aristocrats. 17th century, forks become a symbol of refinement. As cleanliness became more important, the fork was seen as more hygienic than hands. 18th and 19th centuries, the fork becomes commonplace. The 4-pronged fork was introduced, making it even more practical for eating. By the 19th century, forks were widely accepted in Europe and America. The fork's journey from scandal to necessity is a fascinating testament to how societal norms evolve. Once deemed sinful, foreign, and effeminate, the fork gradually won over even its harshest critics, proving its utility and elegance. Next time you pick up a fork, remember, this simple tool was once feared, banned, and condemned as an insult to God. Who knew dining etiquette could be so scandalous? Like, subscribe, and comment to stay updated on the latest insights. Let us know your thoughts below.